So yeah, it's that's the way I saw you looking at me. You stop your bull right now, Bo. Stop your crap.
Is that Mufasa?
I do not love you, and I don't want to be here anymore. Please stop. Oh wait, I can just do that. I could just cut his mic.
And go. Welcome to the Friday Game Night Pick'em Show here on AccessWDUN.com. Bo Wilson alongside these two guys, and of course our producer Seth Chapman. Walker McCrary is also with us today. You can see us in our brand new studio here at our offices.
Very cool.
New setup, and we
New
still
setup.
can't say his name right.
Walker Tucker.
Well, that's the joke.
Although I
That's
can't
the
really,
joke now. Walker Tucker.
I can't
Walker
really
Tucker.
see. I can't really see Seth. He's kind of like in this dark, dingy.
I'm
hole.
alone in
He's
the
in a-
darkness, how I prefer.
Look, I want to give props to Seth for building the brick wall behind us.
Yeah,
Did
man,
a
this is
fantastic
good,
job.
good craftsmanship.
He was in here for weeks doing that.
Yes, it's so
Weeks.
good. Yes.
I can't
Did a
go
great
anywhere. There's
job,
a wall.
and the design of the logo. Yes, just a great job. But been in the works here to get into this room,
Oh yeah.
and it's a good thing. This is our first run, so if there's anything wrong with the show, we don't really care.
No,
Because we're working the bugs out.
One more congratulations to Seth. This has been something he has wanted for a couple of years, and it finally came to fruition. And I don't know it would have without Seth kind of leading the charge.
No,
So,
thanks.
How about that?
This is a nice
Good job,
setup.
Seth.
Just,
It is very
really
nice.
Appreciate it.
and
You did a great job, Seth.
you did.
The setup is almost worth the years of torment that I've undertaken doing this
What
show.
do you mean torment?
Oh, there's more to come.
No.
We've given you a compliment, so you know what that
I know.
you
That
know what
can't
that
go
means.
well from here.
Okay.
It's all downhill from here.
So, taking a look at the standings, this is a close race as we head into the final
who?
2 weeks of
For
the
who?
season for the top two spots.
Oh,
Yeah, we've got Seth in the lead by one game, and
Ooh.
Walker in number two. The rest of us, well, we're just fighting.
why don't
for
we
the
tell
basement.
them the actual totals of the picks, because it makes it sound like us three here that we're awful.
Yeah, we are awful.
Well,
because
we're
we're way behind. I mean,
Wait,
it's-
wait.
I mean, how
We're
else
one-
We
can
look
put it?
awful because
All
we are
three
awful.
of us are 127 and 42. I mean, that's like a 750 winning percentage. That's pretty
Not
good.
bad.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad, but when you compare it
That's
to
it. Seth is 139 and 30.
when you
Yeah.
compare it to Walker Tucker and Seth,
Yeah, we're 12 games behind.
we're far behind.
I think we've been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, we're eliminated for sure. But yeah, Walker
Playoffs.
with a weekly win at 17-1. Good job, Walker.
I had my best week all year.
Appreciate
Walker
that.
goes 17-1 and ruins it.
Of course he does.
Well,
Way to go, Walker.
Yeah,
Little round of applause for Walker.
I've got a knack for picking these games, is what I'm learning here.
A knack.
You
think
got
you should
some
get that
kind of,
checked out.
you know,
That's a good word.
he's somewhere else, so he could have all this inside information we just don't know about that he is not sharing with us, which wouldn't be
Is it
not
time
fair.
for us to?
Not
Is
fair.
it time for us to buoy Seth back to the field a little bit?
We bringing the blue shell out?
For me now, not against me.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, speaking of Seth,
No.
he did get the win last week in his little separate pick'em segment.
Yes.
But
which means he gets no credit.
that was a softball, though, right, Walker?
It was.
Yes,
that was
it was a softball.
Also, you did agree last week that if I happened to get it right, that we would just not do it again.
Wait, check the tape.
If you do happen to get this right, we're going to eliminate the whole segment next week.
That's hysterical. If I just prove that I'm that good, then you're just gonna be like, I can't
It's
anymore. I'm
not
done.
going to count.
Actually,
And there it was.
Yeah, there it was.
You 100% said that I don't have to do it
well,
anymore.
let's just
if I
do
got
it for
right.
fun. Let's just do it for
Oh,
fun.
okay, fine.
Well, unless he doesn't get it right.
We've got a good game for you this week, Seth.
We were easing you into the shallow end, and now we're just shoving you off the diving board.
Yes.
this week.
Yeah,
So
sounds
Walker,
great.
what is his pick this week?
Yeah, so there's a big game this week in Region
Huge.
3-5A that is going to decide the fourth and final playoff spot in that region.
And what is that, Walker?
yes.
Drew High School is headed to Harris County in a battle of teams that are 0-2 in the region. They have one win combined.
Who is at home?
It's at Harris County.
All right, at Harris, who has the one win?
Harris County.
I
There
don't
he
know
goes.
where
Come
either
on.
of those places
Seth, this
are.
seems like an easy one.
Okay,
I
give
will tell you,
I feel
both
like that
teams,
Simpsons meme. I'm in danger.
both teams last week lost their region games. Harris County lost to Northgate 28-3. Drew lost to Northside Columbus 39-0. So
Those scores again for me one more time.
28-3. Harris lost to Northgate. Drew lost to Northside Columbus 35-0. Harris County is the home team. They scored last week.
There you go. That's what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted to know. I'll go with Harris.
Harris County it is. So, of course, should we have given you the information, Seth, that Harris County is a 10-game losing streak to Drew?
Yeah, that'd been great.
Too
well,
bad
he's
you've already
already.
in. Let's move along, Bo.
Yep, he's already in.
let's move
There
right
you go.
along.
Let's
There you
move
go.
right along to
Well,
last
thanks,
week's
guys.
action.
Thanks, guys.
Any surprises to you at week 10? Anybody?
I'm
this is
surprised.
what they call
Anybody.
I'm
quiet
surprised that we
firing.
can't gain ground on Seth and Walker.
My biggest surprise was Albert Commerce, I think.
Oh, I think that's
definitely.
definitely yeah. I don't
Lost
think,
me my pick.
I don't
Yeah.
think 20-point win. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming either, and it kind of takes the luster off of a game that we're going to pick later
It does
here in the show as well.
It really does. And now I'm kind of worried about Commerce.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you one. I don't know about surprise because I thought it was going to be a close game, but I was a little disappointed because my kind of upset special for the weekend was East Jackson
Yep.
going up to Blairsville to Union County, and they led for almost the entire game only to have Union County score late and beat them, which Union County's having an incredible season, but I was kind of hoping that that maybe East Jackson could have pulled that one out, would have given me another spot up ahead of you two in the standings.
Yeah, but it did.
didn't
Yeah, that's
happen.
right. Yeah, well, it's
Didn't
not
happen.
if you don't pick the upset, it's not an upset special anymore. So you can't keep bringing that up. You missed it.
I did.
You got it wrong.
I did get one game that I picked that everybody picked against me on, though, and that was Lanier over Jackson County. So I did get one of those.
Yeah, you did.
That is true. We'll give you that one. We'll give you that one.
Yeah, that was
Speaking-
my one loss on the week.
Speaking of East Jackson, real quick, I got a preview up on
Yeah,
the
you
game
do.
game story on that. Hey, they are one win. They're of all of our 26 area teams that we cover at Access North Georgia, Access WDUN. I don't know. I said Access
Where
North
did that
Georgia.
come from?
Holy cow! I haven't said that in years, but at Access
Nice one.
WDUN, of the 26 teams we cover, East Jackson has the longest playoff drought of anyone. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2009. If they win this Friday, they'll be in the playoffs for the first time since 2009. And they've got a great shot. A really interesting game between them and Providence Christian. Got a really good offense in Providence against a pretty good East Jackson defense. But Providence has not figured out how to kind of close out games. And the way East Jackson played last week against Union makes me think that they're going to win that game.
Well, the way they played there, the way they've played for the last month and a half of
Right.
the season, ever since that, what they start 0-2, 0-3, and since then they've
Right.
really looked like one of the better teams in that region since then.
Yeah, and thank God they're out of 8-3A.
Yeah,
they
for
were
real.
massively overmatched, and they were in a region that they really shouldn't have been in. And you just got to feel bad for them. I think they had a 23-game region losing streak in 8-3A. Oh, I mean, I think if you took a lot of teams in this area and put them 8-3A during those years, 0-23, it might be more teams than just one. So it's good to see them out and in a region where they can compete, and we're seeing that.
All right, guys, let's get on into the conversation games today. And you see the list. I have the top two games that we have pinpointed as the biggest games in our coverage area. Now, which one do you want to start with?
You pick it. Which one?
Let's start with the North Forsyth at Gainesville game.
All right.
The Region 8 6A championship game. The winner of this game is, we'll call them the region champs.
Absolutely.
Top spot in the region.
It will be for the region champs. In fact, my stat of the week
Oh.
is on this game. So
Let's
we'll get to
go.
it early.
Let's do it.
Here's some things you need to know.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
All right. So, stat of the week. To me, this
I've
is
still got the jingle in my head.
Yeah, I know it's hard
Did
to get
you-
rid of.
Jeff,
It's really
thank
funny
you,
because
Greg.
like I went to sing the jingle. Like I was gonna almost tell you guys. I forgot that I edit, things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was
Yeah.
like, hold on, you need to wait until
we
I
need
get
to-
done singing the jingle in my head.
Do we need to do it again so
No.
we can get the effect of going back to the
No.
song?
No, the audience
No,
can
the
rewind.
effect's
Are you
already
sure?
there.
You sure?
You've already clapped and laughed, so we're good.
I'm not going to do it now. Now I'm not going to do it now, just for that.
Boo.
No, the key matchup is the one that's really that I think is the key matchup. It's not the one that I think a lot of people are going to look at on paper, but the one that I think is the key matchup is the Gainesville defense versus the Raiders offense. Because we've talked all year how underrated really the Gainesville defense is. Look, they're fourth best in 6A. They've only given up 90 points. That's 11.25 points a game. They've only given up 27 points in region play. They forced 21 turnovers.
21.
21. That's including 10 interceptions. The reason I bring that up is because the Raiders, now they're averaging 25 points a game, but they committed 17 turnovers this year. We've seen games where they have looked unstoppable on offense and games where they've done
This
4 or
needs
5
to be
turnovers.
Jeff Hart's stats of the show.
Absolutely. This is it. But they have 11 interceptions out of the quarterback spot. So that's look, if they start throwing the ball around and Gainesville picks off a couple of passes, I don't think North Forsyth has a chance to win this game.
Well,
So who's your pick?
My pick is going to be I'm going to go with the Red Elephants at home. I do think that defense will make a difference. I think this is going to be a far closer game than everybody expects because I think North Forsyth is going to offensively, I think they're going to do some things to keep them in the ball game. But that Gainesville defense is such a ball hawking group. They're going to get one somewhere, and it's going to turn the game around. So I'm going to take Gainesville in a close one.
The number one word that comes to mind to me when talking about this Gainesville team is opportunistic. They might be the most opportunistic team I've seen in a while. I've been to several of their games this year, and in every one, the game almost played out the exact same way, which is that it's just kind of rolling along. Neither team is really doing a whole lot, and then Gainesville scores, and then it's like an avalanche. All of a sudden, there's turnover. Gainesville capitalizes. All of a sudden, Gainesville hits like back-to-back 80-yard touchdowns or 60-yard touchdowns. They start hitting the big play, essentially, is what I'm saying. And it snowballs on teams. And what we've learned all year is that's going to happen in the game. Gainesville's going to hit that spurt where they just go on like a 21-point run, a 24-point run, something like that. It's happened to everybody they've played against this year. The question is, in terms of can you hang in with this Gainesville team, is can you do enough against that defense so that run doesn't end your chances of winning the game? I don't think North Forsyth's going to be able to do enough on the offensive side of the ball to overcome that run when that run happens, and I think it is going to happen. So I've got Gainesville. I could see this being, like you mentioned, a tight defensive game. I could also see Gainesville winning by 21 points, and all those 21 points coming in that 4-minute stretch that I just described that has seemed to happen against everybody they've played against this year.
Yeah, I think if North Forsyth can stay away from the turnover bug, I think they've got a great chance to win this game, especially if it's low scoring. It just seems like the type of game that North Forsyth can win. I just don't know that Gainesville and their offense will not be able to move the ball on the defense of North Forsyth and be able to score points to kind of make this a little bit more of a high score. I think this is going to be one whale of a game. I think that if North Forsyth can stay away from the turnover bug, they can stay in this game and possibly even win it, especially when they're able to keep this a low-scoring game. I just don't think that Gainesville will keep this a low-scoring game. I think they're able to score points and move the ball somewhat consistently and are able to pull away late. So I'll take the Red Elephants, but I think it's close until 6 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah, this matchup is really intriguing, and I think it's going to lay on the shoulders of West, Roberts, and Baxter. Right. I think that's going to be key for them to make plays, especially if you look at North Forsyth and West earlier this season had some issues with interceptions. North had some issues with turnovers. So I think both defenses are going to come after them. It's going to be an all-out blitz, and they're going to make the quarterbacks make plays. And also don't forget about Naeem Cheeks out of the backfield. And to be honest with you, McBrayer for North Forsyth. I mean, he's a pretty good running back. So I think this is going to be, as Walker said, a well of a matchup. I give the edge to Gainesville, though, because it's at City Park. I also give the edge to them because I think it'll be close to maybe first half, early third quarter, and then Gainesville will eventually have that play or two that's going to take them and to the top of this game. So I'm going to go with Gainesville in this one this week.
The first time I saw Gainesville was at Marist. And from that day on, I was like, I don't know that I'll ever bet against this team, and I will certainly not bet against this team at home, Gainesville.
Look, that's a clean sweep. I'm kind of surprised by that. I'll give you one name that could be a difference maker in this game, and that could be Colin Miller, the linebacker for North Forsyth.
Yes, sir.
And they have a formidable front seven, and this might be the best front seven that Gainesville's seen all year. But again, I kind of agree with Walker. Gainesville's offense, while it's had its moments of lulls that we talked about, but boy, when they get going, they can really hit some big plays.
They explode on people.
Exactly. I think it is going to be a fantastic game. I could see a shootout. I could see a 6-3.
I think it could be a shootout.
It could be a 6-3 ball game too.
Gainesville's offense is like a homemade fireworks show. It comes in bursts, short bursts, and those bursts are explosive, and they can rack up on.
So
people.
what are you talking about? A bunch of Roman candles?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You ever shoot those at your brother?
Yes.
No.
I've shot those at
You a
a few-
psychopath?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've never gotten a Roman candle fight?
No. Never.
Okay.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's the best until you get hit.
It's like you're in Harry Potter. You
Oh, yeah,
got a
there's
freaking
nothing
magic
like being
wand and
Yeah,
everything.
there's
nothing
nothing
less.
like being caught on fire.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. All right.
Nothing like it.
Be
The
safe with fireworks, kids.
yes.
Just always do that before we.
All right, let's move on to the other big game, Dawson County and Lumpkin County. This is a big rival matchup between the two, and it just so happens to be a region championship game for Dawson County and for Lumpkin, even though Lumpkin's got one game left. But if Lumpkin wins this game, they're in the driver's seat to win the region. Huge game in the Gold City. They're probably going to need to bring seating in for this one. You have two schools that like each other off the field, but when you get on the field, you know it's an arch rival.
I think in honor of this game, we should let Bo and Walker go first so we can get the different points of view on this game. This is going to be a fantastic game.
And we were talking earlier about this being the biggest Dawson Lumpkin game ever, but you were telling me, and you've got an article on the Friday Game Night page about the one before this that probably rivals this one that I thought was pretty interesting.
That was the biggest game of the series. Walker and
What
I
year was that again?
It was 2000. We talked about it. Walker and I did a couple of days ago about kind of go through to find an idea to do a story because we didn't want to kind of do your typical preview story here, Coach, because we talked to Coach Webb and Coach Maxwell a lot this year, so we kind of know what's happening, what's going on there. But back in 2000, it was the showdown for first. The unfortunate part to the whole story, though, Walker, is the fact that both teams lost out and ended up being the 3rd and 4th seed in the 2000 season. So at that point in the season, and ironically enough, it's 22 years and 1 day to the day of that game.
Wow.
Because that game was played on October 27th, and of course today is October 28th. So it's interesting, and it has an interesting feel, although that one was in Dawsonville. This one, Walker, is in Dahlonega.
Yeah, and this may be the biggest game in Dahlonega since the last time that Lumpkin made the playoffs in 2015 when they hosted Elbert County. It just has that big game feel. The thing that makes this game hard for me to pick is Dawson's offense did not look good last week against Gilmer. They only scored 17 points. All of it came in the third quarter. One of those touchdowns was off of a kickoff return to start the second half. Missed a field goal, a little chip shot in the first half. It's one of those things that Dawson's offense has really struggled in this one, but I think Dawson's defense can do to Lumpkin what Wesleyan's defense was able to do, and that's put pressure on Cooper Scott. I think Lumpkin outscores Dawson in this one, but it may be closer than what the North Forsyth Gainesville game is going to be, in my opinion. This could be like a 1-2 point game, and I think Lumpkin being at home and the momentum that they're riding, the consistency that they're riding, I think is able to pull them out in front.
Yeah, I think you're going to see.
Wait. Lumpkin. He took the Lumpkin guy. Took
Lumpkin.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure I got that right.
I think he's setting himself for
Somebody
a little bit of
tell me
pattern
what
recognition
Lumpkin
here.
County's averaging per game, please.
I'm sorry.
What is Lumpkin County averaging points
About
wise per game?
35.
I don't have a computer, so I can't be held responsible
38
for this.
points
Yeah.
per game, something like
38. 38. I think it's 38 points per game. I'm trying to
So
look at
that's
my stats.
fourth in Class 3A,
Fourth
correct?
or fifth. Fourth or fifth
That's
for Lumpkin.
fourth or fifth.
Right.
All right, Cooper Scott,
38.3. There you go. 4
Mason
points.
Sullins, Cal Faulkner. Who am I missing, Walker?
Harper Davenport, and then the defense, Caleb Norrell, Will Wood. I mean, they're scoring on both sides of the football this year.
Scoring on both sides of the football, a very, very good Lumpkin County team. Coach Heath Webb comes in, gets them going to the right direction. They're playing very good football. Dawson County, on the other hand, let's just be frank about it. They're struggling bad on offense. But their offensive line is pretty good. Their defensive line is pretty good. This is going to have to be a game where Dawson County just all out rushes Lumpkin County to get to Cooper Scott. That's going to be how they have to ruffle his feathers. If they do not, Cooper Scott, Mason Sullins, and all of them will go off on Dawson County in this one. I'm going to go with the Indians. Lumpkin County will pull. You can call it the upset because Dawson's 5-0 in region, and Lumpkin's 3-1.
Yes.
I'm going with Lumpkin in this one.
Boy, I tell you, it's a good thing you don't live in Dawson County anymore, but driving home might be a little rough.
Wow, that's really.
Are you shocked?
I'm shocked, Todd.
I'm
shocked.
surprised
I'm
because
impressed with what Cooper Scott's been doing.
I'm surprised because you told me off the air 2 weeks ago that you were taking Dawson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
You told me like 2 or 3
Hey,
weeks ago about
that's
that,
right.
but something has changed.
See,
between
something
then
has
and now.
changed.
See,
called the old
Caleb, I
redirect.
was actually leaning toward Dawson coming into last week, honestly. But the way that they looked offensively against Gilmer, I don't like how inconsistent they are offensively, and that gives Lumpkin the edge.
And I'll tell you, I'll pick up here on the pick, but I'll go back to what I said about Lumpkin going into the White County game, coming off of the Gilmer game into the bye week. I think winning that Gilmer game, they got a little bit of that confidence back, a little bit of that swagger back that I think they lost when they lost that game to Wesleyan a few weeks ago. I think they got it back, and now you're telling me not only are they coming off of a bye week and then a big win, actually 2 back-to-back big road wins, but now they get to come back home, and it's against Dawson County and all the things that we just talked about. And I agree with your analysis, too, and it kind of harkens back to what I said about the Gainesville North Forsyth matchup. I have no doubt Dawson County is going to come in and play very stingy defensively. I think they're going to come in and try to just punch Lumpkin County right in the mouth. Hopefully not literally, but figuratively with physicality.
It has happened before.
It has happened before in this series. But I think Dawson County is going to try to come in and punch Lumpkin County with some physicality and try to get them off their rhythm. I just think there's too many playmakers on this Lumpkin County team. I think they're too diverse with how they can attack you, and I don't know that Dawson – if you tell me that you're confident Dawson County is going to score 24 or more points, I would probably take the Tigers.
Right.
I don't know that I can count on that, though, and I think Lumpkin County wins this one because I think they're going to be able to do enough offensively, even though I do think Dawson will play them very tough.
Lumpkin is more athletic on the offensive side of the ball when you look at their playmakers, and that's why – that I'm taking Lumpkin County in this one because I just see that, if Dawson does not cover in the secondary, Cooper Scott, Harper Davenport, Mason Sullins, all the offensive skill players they have will take advantage of that. So that's why I went with Lumpkin.
Wow. Well, I can't argue with any of that other than to counter with this. Dawson County leads the region in the most points scored, 162. That's 32.4 points a game, even with last week. They've also given up the fewest points in region play. They've only given up 38 points so far in 5 games. I love Lumpkin County. I love what they're doing offensively. I was at that game last week with White County. They were explosive. But here's my concern. It was 28-28. White County scored. That was a 28 ball game. Lumpkin ended up winning that game 56-35, but it was 28-28. Dawson County has a much better defense right now than White County does. I'm going to go with the defense in this. I think that I like what Dawson County is doing. I think Sid Maxwell is going to dial up some stuff. I don't see them continuing this offensive funk. They've never been in a funk for very long under Sid Maxwell, even when they haven't played that well. I think they break out of it this week. I think the defense shows up. I think it's going to be a great game. It really could come down to the last possession. And so with that in mind, I'm going to take Dawson County and the defense. I just feel it's right now that defense is playing lights out.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to put this Lumpkin County team right there in the same category that I put the Gainesville team in. Every time I go to Lumpkin County, every time I go to talk to somebody or go to a game, the energy keeps rising. It keeps going up and up and up. I'm going with this Lumpkin County team.
Wow, so I'm the only one that took the Tigers.
I feel
I'm
really
surprised.
good about
I am
my
very
pick now
surprised by
then.
that.
I feel really good now that somebody's picked outside of Lumpkin and we don't have that clean sweep like you see on College Game Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can use that, so I feel good.
Hey,
Well,
by the way, shameless plug. Go check the story out about the 2000
Yeah, and that
showdown
too-
for first.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story.
It was a cool story.
Well,
we tried to come up with something
history,
different. History.
I think I have some clips that
Oh,
people
do
are
you?
going to be really interested
of
to
Got
see.
some
what?
clips of what?
Of perhaps a young Bo Wilson doing some sideline.
No.
Yeah,
interviews.
let's go to
Do
that.
not put that in there.
Go to the
late.
clip.
I am telling you, don't put that crap in there.
Too late.
Walker, you will die.
Hey, Bo.
What?
Let's go to the clip.
Hey, Bo.
Why
Let's go to
Walker?
the clips.
Hey, Bo.
No.
Roll the clip.
We're going to run over Bo for a couple right here. I want to get Nilson Bird in here. Neil, senior night, buddy. What was it like out there? It looks like you're kind of dirty. Took a bath in the grass. What was it like out there tonight in the wind? I tell you, Bo, it's just great to be a Mighty Tigers. You know, at the beginning of the season, I looked at the schedule and it said Lumpkin County Senior Night, and I said, you know, they couldn't have picked a better night to be Senior Night. But, you know, it was more than just bragging rights this year. It's kind of like taking Georgia to be in the national championship. You know the truth about it. It's just great. I love it. Is this the sweetest win you've ever had here at Dawson County? Probably. I'd have to say it is. It's Wilson Burt right here. Did a good job tonight.
Where did you get these?
I'm resourceful.
From who?
From myself. I built this whole
Union
freaking
County
thing
at
myself.
Athens Academy.
Oh, God. All right, let's move on. Union County and Athens Academy, guys. What do you think about this one?
Oof. This is an interesting game because Union County has been playing very, very well. You look at what they've done offensively. Defensively, we've talked about that, is actually where they may have been the most impressive this year, really holding down some good offensive teams. But I don't know. Athens Academy has kind of been like a perennial playoff team. We got a team here, a program, a couple of finals not too far in the past. As much as I would love to see Union County, have a chance next week against Fellowship Christian to play for a region title, Athens Academy, I think, might just be a little too much for what they're ready for. They have the hardest finish in 8-2A. When I saw that schedule, I was like, wow. Who did they kill? Because that's a really gruesome finish. We talk about Fellowship was like a semifinal team or a quarterfinalist. I think it's just going to be a tall order. I think that they can make this game a lot closer than I think some people are, and they could win this game. They definitely can win this game if they play good defense and get some breaks offensively. They can win this game. But I'm going to have to go. I'm just going to have to go with Athens Academy. I just think it's a little too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. Athens Academy looks to me like they're sort of peaking a little bit. I believe Banks County was up 13-6 or 13-0 at that point, at one point in that ball game on Friday, and Athens ends up winning 70-13. They can really roll. If this game was in Blairsville, it'd feel a little bit better, but it's not. It's in Athens, and so I'm taking Athens Academy. I could definitely see Union County going down there and putting up a little bit of a fight. I just don't know that they're going to be able to hold up for a full 4 quarters and pull out the win. So I'm taking Athens Academy.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. The trip to Athens Academy from Blairsville is going to be a long one for them. But that's not to say that Union's not going to put points on the board because we've seen them do it.
Right.
But Athens Academy, I think they might be a little more battle tested in this game, and so I'm going to go with Athens Academy.
If the over-under was set at like 75 points, I still think I'd take the over on combined points. I don't think either defense is going to be able to slow down the other team's offense consistently, but I agree. I think Athens Academy just going to be a little bit too much, especially at home, to be able to get the win and send Union home with the loss.
What you got?
I agree with everybody.
Scintillating analysis.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Just yeah.
Well, we did start it with two big games, and now
Yeah,
we're
that
just
is
rolling
true.
down through.
That is
All right,
true.
so Cedar
I've also
Shoals.
just kind of like lost my willpower throughout the course of today.
Who's to blame for that?
Me.
Oh,
Directly
wow. He
me.
didn't blame one
For
of
just
us.
attempting.
Wow.
Cedar Shoals.
Every time I try, it it ends up like this.
All right, so Cedar
that's
Shoals at North Hall. This one for a state playoff spot. a must-win for North Hall to keep the playoffs alive.
And it's a must-win for North Hall. And I'll tell you who else is rooting for North Hall is East Forsyth. East Forsyth could sure use with Cedar Shoals taking a loss here as well.
Absolutely.
So, this is a very big game. This is probably down the stretch. This game and the North Hall East Forsyth game next week are really the two biggest games in this region in 8-4A coming down the stretch to decide who's going to get in the postseason.
Right.
I tell you, I'm going to roll with the Brickyard Magic this week. It is late October. It's Halloween weekend, and I've said it before. Brickyard Magic is real, and the Brickyard really likes it when it gets cold out. And I don't know if it's going to be cold this week, but it's going to be a lot colder than it was in August. And
the bricks keep the warmth.
Yeah, that's right. I'm taking North Hall. I think that they will do enough offensively. Cedar Shoals, they're like a lot of Cedar Shoals teams I've seen over the years. They're very athletic. When they get hot, they can be a real problem. I saw that firsthand against Cherokee Bluff where you can hold them down. But, man, if you miss one assignment in the secondary, one of those receivers Devin Hester and some of those guys, they can burn you. But I think North Hall will do enough offensively. I think they'll maybe force some Cedar Shoals miscues. And I'll just say it. I'm just straight up banking on some Brickyard Magic this week, some turnovers, some special teams errors by Cedar Shoals. That's the kind of stuff that happens in the Brickyard late in the year. I'm going to say that happens. I'm going to take North Hall to win. Close game.
Ditto whatever you just said, because that's the truth. Brickyard Magic. I think North Hall wins this one.
So the pair of y'all, we're going to find y'all out there on the Brickyard burning some sage and doing some voodoo dances, anything to get that magic going. Is that what you're saying?
Not needed.
Not needed.
No.
Not needed. Look,
it just happens.
I can't argue with either of those assessments. However, this Cedar Shoals team, I think the games that they've lost, they were battling some suspensions and just trying to get all their team together with continuity. Their quarterback, Mandrell Gwynn, he passed for a school record last week, 378 yards and 5 touchdowns. I don't know that North Hall has anybody. I don't think they have a defense that can match that. If Cedar Shoals wants to come out and start throwing the ball around like that again, I think it's going to be a big night at the Brickyard. I think North Hall keeps it close because they have shown they've got a lot of fight this year, and the playoffs is within reach. So you know that they're going to pull out all the stops. And I like what Coach Pender has done over the last month. I mean, the season could have imploded when you look at losing.
Their season could already be over.
Absolutely.
Right now.
When you lose your quarterback and a couple of their top players, the way things started, it could have snowballed. I think we had talked to will they win a game? Kind of the way some things were going. I really like what Coach Pender and the staff has done, but this Cedar Shoals team it might be better than some of the ones that we've seen in the past, and they can score, and I think they're going to. I think it's just going to be a little tough for North Hall to keep up, particularly if they're battling quarterback problems. So I'm picking Cedar Shoals.
Yeah, shootout for sure in the Brickyard. I'm sure there's going to be some Brickyard magic, but I think that Cedar Shoals can do just enough, just given that they have a little bit more experience in these type of games, being right on the edge of the playoffs. Not to say North Hall hasn't, but they haven't in this system. And I think Coach Pender maybe 1 year ahead of schedule. I think North Hall really good, but I think Cedar Shoals just going to be a little bit too much tonight.
I think hopping off the coattails has done me some harm. So I'm going to agree with pretty much everything Walker said. And I'm going to go Cedar Shoals.
At least he just admits it. But I don't know if I'm feeling good about that either.
Like I said earlier, I just have to stop trying.
Now that he follows your coattails, Walker, and I also pick Cedar Shoals, can I change my pick?
No. We made the rule that once you make your pick and someone else begins to speak,
then you have to tell me who you're picking first. From now on, yes, you do. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. Let's get down to the pick 'em rundown, starting with Appalachia at Hab Central.
I'll take the Raiders.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Hab Central.
Raiders.
Okay.
Walker frozen.
Is he?
He's just sitting there.
Is it frozen?
Oh, my God.
There we go. Now we're back.
There we go.
Wow. That was
working out the bugs, folks. Working out the bugs.
My back
was horrifying.
Yeah, you're here from spaceship somewhere.
What you got, Walker?
No, I'm on that spaceship that's behind you guys right now, Habersham Central.
Okay, so that made it a clean sweep.
Banks County at Fellowship Christian. I'm going to go with Fellowship Christian.
Fellowship. This
Fellowship.
is a buzzsaw.
Fellowship Christian.
Yeah.
Fellowship.
Fellowship all around. Buford and Mountain View.
Wolves win the region title.
Yes,
Wolves.
sir.
Yep.
Yeah,
Buford.
I totally agree.
Commerce at Rabin.
Raven County.
Raven.
Raven.
Commerce's defense is not playing well enough right now to go into Tiger and get that win.
Raven.
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 EFO at Chestatee.
I'll take the Broncos.
Broncos.
They had an extra day to prepare for this because they played last week on Thursday. Extra day of rest, extra day mentally to get over losing that 17-point lead to Madison County. Take the Broncos.
Broncos.
East Forsyth.
Okay.
Broncos. East Hall at North Oconee.
North Oconee.
North
North
Oconee.
Oconee.
Titans.
North Oconee.
East Jackson at Providence Christian.
Give me East Jackson.
I'm going to take East Jackson.
East Jackson.
I'll take East Jackson.
Yeah, let's go, Eagles.
Wow, clean sweep. That gets them in the playoff.
Flowery Branch at Loganville. We'll take Loganville.
Yeah, Loganville.
Loganville.
Boy, I'd
Loganville.
say, though, if there's a time to play Loganville, it'd be right now coming off of what happened
Yeah,
to
it would.
Loganville last week.
Yeah.
And what happened to Loganville? I
For
mean,
real.
Jefferson, I think,
And-
is finally they're playing like I think we thought they
And
could.
Flowery Branch is off the bye. I just don't think Flowery Branch can do enough offensively right now to get that
Yeah.
one.
Did Jefferson break Loganville? It's going to
Well,
be
you
interesting
know,
to see what happens for them.
This
the
game
rest
will
of the
tell
year.
you. This game will tell you because Flowery Branch has enough
Yeah.
athletes to if they if that is the case. Flowery Branch has got enough athletes to take advantage of that. I just don't think they're doing enough offensively, and I think Loganville will play well enough to win the game.
Was anybody surprised that Loganville dropped completely out of the rankings? They went from third to out with one loss. Does that mean were they a soft three or?
That's
Had
what
to
the
be.
that's clearly
Had
what
to
the
be.
voters thought.
Had to be.
I guess so. Wow, I've just never seen anybody drop out of the rankings from being ranked third.
So Loganville all around.
Yes.
All right, George Walton at Lakeview Academy.
I got to see the Lions up close and personal last week. Landon Haynes is a ball player. He is a very good running back. I think Lakeview at home, late in the season. I like the way they're playing right now. I'll take the Lions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lions roar.
Yep, I will go with the Lions as well.
Lions.
I'm going with George Walton. That traditionally not a good matchup for them. I feel like that. I would love to see Lakeview finish this off, but George Walton it's a pretty big program over the years. So am I the only one to pick George
Yes,
Walton?
you are the only one.
Wow. Okay.
Jefferson at Heritage Conyers. I'll go with the Dragons.
Yeah, I'll take
Dragons.
the Dragons too. Heritage, I think, is the worst team in that region right now, so I'll take Jefferson big.
Yeah,
They,
that's my-
Dragons.
they win it, region championship for them.
that is my wife's alma mater, and she's picking Jefferson. So there you go.
Everybody picking Jefferson.
Yep.
Yep.
Loganville Christian at Riverside Military.
All right, you know what?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
This is the last real, I think, winnable game on Riverside's schedule. They were at home.
Okay.
I liked how scrappy they were in that first half against Lakeview Academy. I am going to take Riverside to win this game at home against Loganville Christian.
Okay.
There's
have visitors.
We have
Loganville
visitors
Everybody
outside
had to
the
take
door.
a second. Everybody had to take a second to kind of absorb.
Yeah,
Every-
we-
Oh, look,
everyone was
something
actually
we've
waving
never
to get
seen
to the
Everybody
floor.
wave.
The office. Everybody wave.
Everybody wave.
Everybody wave.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
Watch
I
us shoot
recognize
our
that
silly
person.
show.
Apparently,
I recognize that person too.
we're very
Yeah.
popular.
Two people
I knew
recognize.
she'd do
And
that.
who was that? Oh, okay.
That was Lauren.
That was Lauren. Okay.
How,
right, so-
how appropriate.
So who picked what here?
I had Riverside.
Loganville Christian.
I'm going to take Loganville Christian.
Loganville.
I'm going to go with Loganville
It's
Christian
a tough
as well.
one. I mean, they're not very good either.
Walker at LCA. LCA.
So wait. Everybody took
Walker's going
Loganville
LCA?
except for Riverside, except
Yes.
for
He's gonna
Caleb.
one man it.
Yeah.
I'm
I take LCA on that one.
Wait, what?
You
No,
and me
I'm
both.
taking-
Seth.
LCA.
You and me both. I'm
Oh,
taking LCA
Loganville
against
Christian
me.
Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm going out on the limb on this one. I'm walking out onto that branch by myself.
Look, I hope you're right. I would love for to see
And I'm
Riverside.
hoping to Peter Pan right off that thing and soar up into the sky.
Okay.
So if you win that, should we put you in first place in the picks?
I think so.
Oh, okay,
I think
all
this should be worth some bonus
Peter
points.
Pan and soar into the sky.
Yeah.
Okay. Walker
You can tell it's the end of the year.
is at Lanier Christian.
Okay, so that's where the disconnect was.
Yeah.
You moved on to the new one. I
did.
made my pick, and Caleb got lost in the
I did.
dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because he was flying around with Peter Pan.
And so I made the joke. It's like, Walker, he's just going to one-man team it over
Yeah.
at LCA. Stop. Listen, you guys are going to do all these things, and it's going to stay the background, so y'all just look silly. Like, that's all it's going to do.
Just put Big Ben in the background. I'll just,
Big what?
Big. Did you ever see Peter Pan?
Oh my! Just stop.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I said Big Ben.
Okay.
Big Ben.
Like the clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you said. I just needed you to
Right,
repeat what you
right.
said.
Yes. That's.
What's the next game, Bo?
I just said
please.
Walker at LCA.
LCA. Okay.
The joke was that I was going to be playing LCA by myself, and Seth laughed and said, "I'm taking LCA for sure." I'm taking LCA against myself for sure.
Okay.
I'm taking LCA as well.
Yeah.
I'm here for you, Seth, to make
Yeah.
sure your joke
Thank
lands
you.
with everybody.
You're the only one that's here for me, Walker.
That's because he's not in the room.
And you're not even really here. Like, that's my problem. The only person that's here for me is
in
not
Virginia.
really here.
He can say
Emotional
whatever he wants. He's
support.
500 miles
It's
away.
4 states away.
Everybody pick LCA in this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Washington Wilkes at Towns County.
Washington Wilkes.
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 I'm taking Washington Wilkes because I went against Towns County last week. They won. I'm going to go against Towns County again to help them out. You're welcome, Coach.
Westall at Wesleyan.
Wesleyan.
I'll go with the Wolves.
All right.
And finally, White County at Pickens.
White County.
I'll take White County.
I'm taking White County.
I will take Pickens.
Whoa. Okay.
He just likes to keep picking Pickens.
I've gone back
Picking
and forth
Pickens.
on this one. I think that Trip Nix does just enough for White County to win this one on the road.
Okay.
Lock-it portion of the show as we move into that. Who won the lock last week?
Well, I did get the correct records now, guys.
Okay.
I
All right, so
went
what are
back.
the
Okay.
correct records?
Yeah, Jeff throwing in like 5 weeks ago's records every week really threw me off every single week. So I've actually got the correct records. Caleb, Seth, and myself all 8-2.
8-2.
Pretty
Beautiful.
good. Pretty good.
That's not bad.
Caleb,
Jeff
all right,
7-3, Bo
Seth-
5-5. So
terrible.
Hold on.
Caleb won last week, so I think Caleb should get the first pick.
All right, so wait. Caleb is 8-2. Seth is 8-2. Walker is 8-2.
It's updated in the real rundown of the show.
That's okay.
Jeff.
So Bo is what?
Bo's 5-5. Jeff's 7-3. Caleb won last week, so I think that out of the three-way tie,
I feel I'm better than 7-3.
Okay, well, you can go watch the videos yourself.
Well, it doesn't matter what that says. I feel I'm better than 7-3.
Okay.
Oh,
all right,
oh well.
that's fine.
Caleb, what you got?
Let's move
yeah,
on.
I think Caleb goes first because he breaks the three-way tie with a win last
Can
week.
I pick the same team twice in a row?
Sure,
two
have
back-to-back
at it.
weeks? I'm going to take Habersham Central -9 at home against Appalachia.
Okay.
Appalachia has not won a game. I think Habersham Central wins that by 10 or more. I feel pretty good about that.
Cool.
Who's next?
That would be you or
I'll let Seth go.
Seth or, yeah.
No.
I'll walk
how
it to
Seth
thoughtful.
had the lead over me.
How thoughtful, Walter.
Walker.
He put Walter
go-
in last week
Or
as
be
well
Walker
on
Turk.
the lock
Yeah,
portion.
that's all.
I mix it
Walker
up. Every now and then I'll find where I want to put Walter instead of Walker, and I'll just put it there. I'm going to go
Walker.
East for side covers.
Oh, yeah.
East for side covers. Okay.
What you got?
It's a 16-point line, by the way. They're favored over Chestatee.
Yes.
Yeah, we were just making sure you understood the process.
I don't understand.
Okay.
In what might be considered somewhat of a shocker, I'm not going Lumpkin County +2. I'm going to go Cedar Shoals -2
Okay.
at North Hall.
Alrighty then.
So I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 5 picks in here that I figured 3 of them would be gone. Y'all took none of them, which now throws me into a quandary because I really didn't expect to have all 5 to choose from, and I don't know what my number one.
Well,
would
go
be.
ahead and tell us what 5 they are.
Well, the 5 I was looking at was Jefferson -51.
Whew.
Fellowship
51.
Fellowship minus. You have no idea how bad Heritage is.
No, I know, but 51 is-
Bo's blatant
but
grumpy face is
look, my
just
wife
killing
is
me
a
right
Heritage
now.
Conyers grad. Okay, she said that she would go. She was in the ROTC. She
That's
would
2
go.
times you mentioned that.
Yeah, well, she would go for that in the band, and she said she would look at the game every now and then throw up because it was that bad. And I said, okay, Jefferson -51 to Heritage. That's what I told her, and she goes, take Jefferson.
So you're going back 50 years ago to figure out something.
How old do you think I am? Sheesh.
So you're picking Jefferson.
What's your lock?
I think I'm going to take Jefferson -51 against Heritage.
Wow.
Okay.
For my wife. for my wife.
Okay.
Bo, take us home, Bo.
Well, that's an interesting line of that Gainesville North Forsyth game.
28 points.
Yeah.
That's a tough line to pick to me.
It is. I thought that was a tough line. I don't think that game's a 28-point game. I really don't.
I don't either, but
And
I don't know.
Tension.
I have no clue.
You have no clue. Here, would you like some help?
No.
I highlighted a few.
I would not. Lakeview covers.
Lakeview.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
-3 against George Walton.
all right.
I'm the only one who actually says what the line is
So-
when they pick it
so
out loud.
I said.
well, it's because I
said
put it on.
Jefferson
I put it on, dude.
I said
First
Jefferson
off,
minus
I
51.
said
There's
the
also a
line.
graphic that goes on the screen.
Okay.
It's graphical.
Second off, this is the first
Second
week
off.
that we've all picked favorites.
Okay.
Huh.
Walker's got the fun
Wow,
facts.
I tell you what,
Walker's
you are
interesting
stat
stat
of
of
the
the
wealth
show.
of you are a wealth of useless information. Thank you very much.
This is the first week
I wouldn't
that
be
all of us
throwing
have
that
picked-
moniker around, dude.
We created an interesting stat of the show segment for you, Jeff.
For you.
Hey, how have I done since then?
Terrible.
I mean,
Really good. Yikes.
Hey, he
I
came
was
in
gonna-
today.
I was
with
gonna
the
build you up,
show.
Jeff.
I
was
love the
gonna say
feedback.
really
I don't
good.
know which way I should go. Have I been doing
You
terrible?
have done great.
Or you say
Everybody-
that.
Caleb,
Everybody-
what's on the tailgate show tonight?
We're gonna hear from. We're gonna hear
Access
from.
Sports Weekly.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna hear from both coaches ahead of the Gainesville North Forsyth Region Title Showdown, and then Walker and Tim Whitmire are going to join us to give a little preview on that Dawson County Lumpkin County matchup.
Is this the current Tim Whitmire and Bo
Yes,
Wilson?
yes, it
or
is.
is it the
Yes.
old Tim Whitmire?
No, this
and
is
Bo
current.
Wilson?
This is
Yeah,
modern.
no, it's current.
This is
I don't
current.
know if I can.
I will
Oh,
be
that's
on
too,
the show.
that is too bad.
Yeah.
I want the old group.
Yeah.
So that's what's
I
coming,
love that.
So that's what's coming up on the tailgate show tonight.
Cool.
Good deal. Radio games tonight. You can check out on 550. The Gainesville North Forsyth game been moved to 550. That is an 8 p.m. kick. Thank you, TV. 102.9 East Forsyth at Chestatee, and 94.5 The Lake is Cedar Shoals at North Hall.
Two huge games in the 8-4A playoff race.
Look,
Huge.
and three really, what I think will be three really good games on
Yeah.
radio. We've tried to make sure we get some good competition games on radio this year. I think we've done a pretty good job overall because it's been tough navigating.
Also, don't forget to keep track of our Twitter page throughout the night at Friday Game Night, where live updates will happen of the games around the area. And go to the Friday Game Night page on the website at accesswdun.com and check all of the stories, highlights, photos, and more from Week 11's action. For everybody here, enjoy Week number 11 of high school football.
Everybody wave. Goodbye from
Goodbye.
the new studio.
Goodbye. I was looking at Walker the whole time because I'm used to looking
Yes.
that way.
Oh,
I
come
was
on,
too.
you know.